Hearties, I'm Casey.
And I'm Cammie. Welcome to the Hearties Hotline,
your connection to Hope Valley.
We want to give a shout out to our friends at Edify Films, where you can get fabulous When Calls the Heart merchandise, like my hat.
And you can also get a fun When Calls the Heart game from our friends at the Bundle Game. Be sure to use discount code Hearties Hotline for 10% off.
We've got a fabulous episode for you today, full of laughter, tears, and heart.
So take a walk with us to Hope Valley and let's dive in.
Hey Hearties, how's it going? Now, before you start listening to this podcast, you might want to be careful about the music that you're listening to, because if it's quite provocative, you might scare our next guest away. Please welcome Miss Florence Blakeley, Loretta Walsh herself. Hi, Loretta.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Cammie, that was a great intro. That totally, if you're not laughing. Love it.
Florence.
Florence.
She gets some really good lines.
She does. I mean, I was looking back and thinking back, and she's got some really good one-liners.
Yeah. Yes, the writers really are very funny. And sometimes Florence is lucky enough to have some hilarious zingers.
She does. And the side eye, I mean, just the way you play her.
Oh, the side eye. We love the side eye. Oh my goodness. Okay. So it's been a crazy year because of everything. It's almost been a whole complete year. So tell us how you've been. What have you been doing to keep yourself busy? Besides shooting, of course. And just how you been?
I've been pretty good. I think that this has been such an unusual time for everybody.
Yeah.
And, and I think some people have been experiencing things in a more severe and harsher way than others. So when I look at the full perspective of everything, I go, wow, I have so much gratitude. I'm very, very lucky. I'm lucky, because of my work situation. I'm lucky because of my living situation. I feel we're all experiencing some collective grief, because we've all lost something. And the big thing that I lost was not being able to see my family. So I am missing them, and just sort of, we're still in the thick of it. So I don't know when I'm going to see them in person, which is a little bit tricky to deal with. Yes. But for my day-to-day, I must say, we're doing pretty well. I have a small child. I have a 4-year-old daughter, and so she keeps me so busy. Between that and auditioning and working and, cooking. Everybody's been cooking.
Yes, right. Cooking. That.
So I've discovered all kinds of new recipes. I love to make soup.
Okay.
So I've been using my time to, be very cozy at home, which, I have enjoyed to a certain degree. I could use with, seeing people again. That would be
that might be nice.
Yeah. But shooting was also a really fun time because it was social as well as work.
Yes, I bet it was.
That was such a nice reprieve, to work for like 5 months and be able to hang out with people, and everybody was in each other's bubble, obviously, because we're working together. And so that was lovely, to hang out and see people outside of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thanks for asking.
Yeah, of course.
Such a strange time for everybody.
It really is. And it's so hard to explain to our children. And it's because we've never been through anything like that. My children are always asking me, does this happen? Does this happen? I don't know, honey. I haven't gone through anything like this before. This is the first time. So yeah, it's rough, but we'll make it through.
Yes.
We'll make it through, and there is hope on the horizon.
Yes, there is.
I think that if somebody had told me at the beginning, oh, well, it's going to be like at least a year, maybe 2, maybe 3 years. We don't really know until things go back to how you used to know it. I think I probably would have had a complete nervous breakdown. I'm not sure I would have coped with a big chunk of time, and I'm not sure what it was like wherever you are at home, but our health officials here were really just giving us small bites. Just 2 weeks. Let's try this for 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
Okay. So it's just small bites, and nobody wanted to commit to, this is going to be a long time, which I think probably was a good thing so that people didn't panic. But, we're human beings. It's amazing how much we can adjust.
True.
And we've adjusted.
We have.
Absolutely. Yeah. So besides cooking, soup, did you pick up any other hobbies? We talked to Pascal, and she talked about doing 100 puzzles, a lot of puzzles. And Johanna mentioned that she's been binging.
Oh, awesome. I mean, for me, I'm a big reader. So I have just been reading books like a mad woman. And so that's been really lovely to just have some time to actually really read. So I really enjoyed that, but like a lot of dance parties with my 4-year-old, getting our groove on.
Lots of kitchen dance parties in our house too.
There's been a lot of dance parties, which has been great. And a lot of TV and a lot of, what's been really just good in a personal way to just kind of figure out, I think people kind of throw the term self-care around a lot. But this has actually been, a pretty great exercise in figuring out what is it that I do need to take care of myself, that I do need to feel good. And so, I've also been like doing some yoga, moving my body, because otherwise I hurt, and meditating and things like that, which I never used to really hold too much stock in. So just kind of trying some different things that have been safe to do at home, but it's been good to have, the room to try some different stuff. Yeah,
definitely. So share a little bit about yourself, if you would, and what prompted you to get into acting? Is it something you always wanted to do, or did it find you? Did it fall in your lap? What's the story?
When I was really little, my grandmother took me to the ballet, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. Like, I want to be on a stage. I want to wear something beautiful and dance, right? So I started in ballet when I was about 6 years old. And then because of that, when I was in, we call it primary school in Australia, I think. The local theater society was doing a production of Oliver, and they were looking for kids who could move, who could dance. One of the teachers said to my mom, hey, listen, they're doing this, production of Oliver. Maybe Loretta wants to audition for it, because I know they're going to be looking for a bunch of dancers, to play like little kids in the musical. And so I did that musical and loved it. And
got bitten.
I got bitten. And so then, I sort of progressed to, I did a production of The Sound of Music, when I was probably 12.
That's when I did it.
Yeah.
I was 11, but yeah.
Yeah. Who did you play?
Brigida.
Oh, I played Louisa.
Oh,
wow.
okay.
You must have been a tall 12-year-old but I was short. So
Well, maybe I was older than that. I can't remember. I should look it up. Time. Yeah. And so then I just loved it. And I thought, oh, this is so fun. And, I come from a family of actors. Like my aunt is an actor and my uncle was an actor. And there was always a lot of, making up plays and doing concerts for the family. And so it was always kind of a thing. And then when I had to choose what I was going to do at the end of high school, I was going to be a teacher. Like I was going to go to teachers college, and I applied for one acting school. And so I auditioned for that acting school and I got in.
Wow.
Yeah. And I just remember talking to my parents and just saying, this is the thing that excites me. This is the thing that I really want to do. This is the thing that I just, I think that I love. And, I think I only sort of have one life. So I think I should go for it. And they were supportive. Of course, they didn't really want me to be an actor because it's not a terribly secure profession. And so then I went to theatre school and then I moved to Sydney, Australia, which was quite far away from my hometown, and started acting there and doing plays and little bits on TV and commercials and what have you. And then I met my now Canadian husband in Sydney, and so I ended up moving to Canada.
You met him in Sydney. That is awesome.
Yeah. I think we met in 1999. Isn't that crazy? So,
wow.
2000, the Olympics were all happening. And so we worked together. I worked as a bartender, while I was doing my plays on the side.
Yeah.
A young actor trying to make it happen. And so, we fell in love. And then I ended up moving to Toronto. To be with him. And so I've been in Canada. This August, it'll be 20 years, which I'm just...
Wow.
Yeah. Time flies.
Yes. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. Time flies.
And now you're on the west coast of Canada. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes. We moved to Vancouver about 13 and a half years ago.
Okay.
My husband works in advertising and he got offered a really great job out here. And I loved Toronto very much. And I did a lot of theatre when I was in Toronto. But I really wanted to break into a screen career as well. I wanted to do film and television. And I knew that the West Coast had a lot of production. And my dearest friend, Jill Morrison,
yes,
is a darling. But her and I did a play together in Toronto. Probably, it must be 17, 18 years ago. It's a long time ago. Wow. And so we did this play together and she had moved out to Vancouver and was doing great. And she was like, Loretta, you should come out. There's tons happening here. And I would love for you to come. So everything was kind of pointing towards Vancouver. I've been here before. My husband has some family here. And so, so it's been about 13 and a half years. And Vancouver's been a really great city. It's a beautiful place. Awesome place to raise my daughter. We have a wonderful life here. And I've been really, lucky to work,
Yeah. We spoke to Jill and she couldn't stop talking about how much she loved you.
Oh my God.
Yes.
She's a dear, dear friend. She's, we've known each other a long time. And, we're each other's number one fan. She's my daughter's godmother.
I love that.
Really, she's family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's extraordinarily talented.
Yeah, she is.
Oh my God! Jill is born to do this. She's born to do it. Like, I feel like it's like God-given talent.
Yeah.
You know? And and she's just a wonderful person.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get with Jill. She's so hilarious, and she's also a very compassionate and intelligent and loving person. Yeah.
Well, that's the impression we got. So
yes, and she spoke very highly of you as well.
We go way back. Yeah.
And then we have another mutual friend, Zach Santiago.
Oh, Zach,
yes, we talked to him on our other podcast.
He couldn't say enough good things about you.
Oh, yes, because we cover Signed, Sealed, Delivered as well on a different podcast.
Yeah.
So we talked to Zach a couple times, and he was talking about how you guys had a collaboration that you were doing, and then the pandemic happened. So
yeah, to be continued. You know, like, I mean, I'm in touch with him. We're gonna do something together. We're gonna do a play together. Once this pandemic is all settled, right? So hopefully in 2022, early 2022. But yes, he's a wonderful friend and a great creative collaborator. And I have worked with him before. Like, I have a small theater company that I run.
Yeah, heard about that.
But I've worked with him before, and he's just my company is called Kindred Entertainment because I like to, for a couple of different reasons, because I like to work with kindred spirits.
yes,
who want to do the kind of work that I want to do. And Zach is a kindred spirit, for sure.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful creative collaborator and really great person. So I'm excited to see him again eventually.
Yes.
Yeah.
So being from Australia, Daniel Lissing is also from Australia as well. Did you have any fun shenanigans that only the two of you would understand, just being Australian?
I mean, it was always so nice.
Yeah.
In there because, there's sort of an unspoken thing that happens culturally.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you get rid of your accents together or something?
I have to be careful because otherwise then we'd start to speak really thickly Australian and be like, uh-oh. Now we go.
Stop.
Now we go back to being American. Yeah. No, I mean, man, I really enjoyed working with him so much.
Yeah.
He was great. And it was so nice to have that shared,
Yeah. That
sure.
bond. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that delicacy that Aaron couldn't, what was it?
Vegemite.
Right, Vegemite. Did you ever share a can of Vegemite together in between takes?
I noticed that it was on the craft services table. So that must have been Daniel's influence, I would say. Yes. So, but Vegemite it's a very specific thing that I think you had to have when you were a child.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a very specific way of eating it, I think.
And how is that?
It has to be really like fresh bread. Best like sourdough or like bread, lightly toasted with butter and then with just a little scratch of Vegemite. And that is delicious. It's just like salty and delicious. The problem is that if you don't know what Vegemite is and you use it like peanut butter, you're dead. Because it's wrong. Like, it's like, no, like that's not how this is done. Like a jar of Vegemite should last you about 5 years.
Yeah, so use very sparingly.
Just a teeny tiny little one.
Okay.
Good to know. I doubt I'll ever eat it, but good to know.
If I meet you one day, I'll make you one how it's done properly.
I will eat it. I will try it. I'm always one for trying things.
Well, if there's fish in it, I can't. I'm allergic to fish. So
I don't think so.
Dang it. That I can't get out of it.
that.
Yeah.
So you are only our second guest to come on the podcast who has been there since the pilot.
Uh-huh.
So how do you describe those feelings of being one of 5 adults that has been there since the pilot and is still there, and the show is still going strong and growing ever more popular? How describe those feelings for us?
You know, Cami, you start to talk like that, and I get so like verklempt. Like, I get like, oh my God, you're right. No, it's a big deal, huh?
It is a big deal.
Yeah.
And I'm honored. Really, I am. I'm so grateful isn't a big enough word.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, this is actually a dream come true for me.
Yeah.
Because I come from a theater background,
Yeah.
so much of what I love about theater is the intense time we get to spend together, where we get to really bond and develop a connection and a great working relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I love the collaboration of making theater or making TV or film. Like, you know, you can't be an island.
Right. Nuh-uh.
Such a team sport, and that's what I love about it. And so to be on a show, which honestly, when I auditioned for this show, I was on vacation when I got the audition, and my agent was like, let me know how you feel about it. You know, do you want to put something on tape, or just let me know how you feel about it?
Mm-hmm.
And there was just something inside me that was very quiet, but real intuition that just said, this is it. This is it. This is it. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one you've been waiting for. And so I got on a plane and I left my vacation. I left my husband and I just went, I have to go, because I knew that Michael Landon Jr. was going to be at the auditions. And I just have a feeling about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I had wanted to do a series, and I wanted to do a series that was an ensemble series that was focused on the bond and the incredible, deep, and important relationships of women's friendships. That's what I wanted to do.
Ding, 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 ding.
Wow. Yeah. That's when calls the heart right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, that's what I want to do for very personal reasons. I was going through a really hard time myself. I'd lost someone very, very close to me. And I was like, I didn't audition for Florence. I auditioned for Marta.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And so, and it was just like an intuition. And I was just like, I gotta go. And so my husband, God bless him, you know, like he was like, okay, baby, if you gotta go, you gotta go. You know, like, okay, you know, we were with
That's a good husband.
his family were like, you gotta go. Okay, you go, girl, you go. And so then I auditioned, and I just felt so connected, you know, to whatever this was, whoever these women were, whoever these widows were. And then the next thing I know, I get a call saying they want to put you forward for Florence. And I said, but I didn't audition for that part. And they said, yeah, they're sending you to the network for Florence. And I was like so excited, because I was like, oh my God, like Florence, she has more story going on. Like, she's a bigger part, you know, sure. Oh my God. And then they called me back and said, everybody has to audition for the part that they get. So you have to go back in again and do an audition now for Florence. And Michael will be there. And yeah. That's it.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure, right? And then I stepped in, and honestly, Michael Landon Jr. has got to be just one of the kindest, most generous, and collaborative people. He's just such a gentle energy.
Yeah.
And I just remember being in the audition room and him getting up out of his chair and coming around the table and really just like talking to me like he's an actor's director, you know.
Uh-huh.
Do it again and let's try it like this now. Like, you know, I just felt so supported by him and so like held by him. I was like, this is a beautiful experience no matter what happens. And so then, and then I got the call, and Jill got the call on the same day that she was going to play Carla Noonan. And so we were talking to each other being like, hi, have you heard anything? Yes, have you heard anything? Yes. Like, we were neighbors at the time. She lived just a couple of streets over. I was like, come on!
That's awesome!
It was like a double dream. I mean, first of all, I had no idea at that point how big the show was going to be.
Right.
We were going to do. But in that moment, like, we were just so thrilled because we wanted to be in a show together.
Yeah.
So it was so great, you know, when Jill was on the show and like Carla's giving birth and like Florence is there, and we were just like, oh my God, like your dreams can come true. Your dreams can come true. Look at how specific this dream was, and it happened, right?
Yeah.
And so it's really just been such a joy. It's been When Calls the Heart has really, for many people, myself included, been a gift that just keeps giving.
Yeah.
So grateful and so thankful and just so heartful, I guess.
Yes.
I'm blessed, really.
Well, as are we.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
It's a phenomenon.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, who would
Truly.
have known so many years ago that the tiny little show would take off? I mean, we've heard Brian Burt's story about the pilot movie and then it being picked up by Hallmark and turning into a series. And now we're on season 8. It's just so very exciting.
And there's no signs of stopping, and we don't want it to.
No, I hope not. I mean, I think we're all just kind of going, this is so dreamy.
Yeah.
Everybody gets along.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have so much fun, you know, and I don't think anybody wants it to end anytime soon.
Oh, that's marvelous.
Yeah.
You know, your dreams can come true. Have a big dream because it can come true.
Yeah. So Florence has gone through she's grown and she's had so many different storylines, and she even, you know, she's cultivated all of these friendships in Holt Valley with Carla and Molly and Fiona and Ned. Since there's more
despite being a tiny bit prickly.
Tiny bit.
Right?
Yeah.
What was that?
Everybody knows a Florence.
Everybody knows a Florence, yes.
You know what? Like, she's uptight and she's all about, you know, the rules. She can be a bit judgy and a bit much sometimes because she doesn't really understand the boundaries. But she's loyal and she's got a heart of gold, right?
She
like,
really is.
Yeah.
You're in trouble? She's like, what can I do? Let me be a part of the solution.
Yeah.
So I think that's how she gets away with being completely vilified. Has to learn things. She has to make mistakes and learn things and have people around her who still love her.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Are there things that you and your castmates do to establish the backstory of your characters and what they're going through in that moment?
Yes.
Oh boy.
It depends on who I'm working with. But Rothgar and I remember Pascal one day just looked over at us because we were fully, like, this was in the green room while we're waiting to go ahead and shoot. He and I are improvising as the characters.
I love it. I love it.
All of the things that happened leading up to this moment. So Pascal's like, what are you two doing? Like, you have a whole other show. With Rothgar, yeah, we really like to do that. We go, so hang on a second. So what must have happened here? Oh, okay, great. And then I came to you and you know, so yeah. So sometimes, sometimes, yeah, we do, you know, kind of play.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on who you're working with.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like everybody has their own kind of way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and their own sort of chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of happens, and also sometimes it just depends on time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, but sometimes we play. It's fun.
Yeah, that is fun. That is fun to know. So there is a secret story behind, say, Ned and Florence's like side eye looks in the mercantile when things are going on outside, or Elizabeth's talking to one of the gentlemen, the triangle.
Yes,
That's so fun.
a big part of Florence and Ned and Molly. They're really, they represent the people of Hope Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So they sort of are the ones who speak for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if there's a certain amount of judgment that comes across, you know, or gossip, I think there's actually, you know, something about keeping a sense of propriety.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a place like Hope Valley, we wanted those characters want Hope Valley to be an upstanding place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A place where people are respectable, where we are kind to our neighbors, where we don't do things that are provocative or you know, that are going to bring Hope Valley down.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So those characters, I think, are there to speak for the people within the town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to also sort of be the eyes of like, hang on a second, what's going on over there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were definitely the eyes for the town with Carson and Faith's first kiss.
No. And you know, like the take that they used of that, like it's so interesting, right? Because you don't know as the actor which take they're going to use. And oh my gosh, like the take that they used of Molly and Florence was so like such a judgmental look. Honestly, I am telling you that in the other takes we weren't that judgy. Like we were kind of like, oh, good for them. Like okay, you go. Okay. But the take they chose, and then I see online somebody's like, I'm gonna slap Florence across the face for the look on her face, and I'm like, oh my god, no, do it a different way. That wasn't my choice. That would have been Mike Roll's choice, who's directing that episode. So it's out of my hands. What can I do?
Well, you heard it here, Hearties. You heard it here.
Florence wanted it to happen.
Rock on. Oh, girl. Oh, that's a little bit surprising, but I'm glad that we know about it, and now we're going to tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
You know, that's our job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
That's funny.
Oh my god. Okay, this is going to be a hard one. Warning you now. Favorite Florence moment or Flomo moment or one of each?
Oh, there's too many.
I know.
There's too many. Oh my gosh. I just, and I can't even really talk to you about season 8 yet.
No, we can't.
So many good things happening in that season.
We've heard that much.
Mm-hmm.
So-
We'll have to regroup after the season. We'll have to regroup.
Oh,
Talk
absolutely.
about season 8 with you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, it's a date.
Very excited. Um, I guess like I still have a real soft spot for season one. When I went into the mine, and I think that was because that was sort of my introduction to the series and my introduction to Florence, and it was so gritty, so dirty, and just so like deep, and there was so much struggle. And so I loved that. But man, like I can't even. I mean, Johanna and I, we're like, okay, what are we doing now? We have a lot of laughs, together, which is so great, and it's so lovely.
Yes,
people over and over again, because like we have such a shorthand, like it's so nice. But yeah, I can't. Oh gosh, I just can't pick. All of the stuff. I loved all of the stuff with the widows when Jack had died and Elizabeth, was being cared for, by all the ladies who had been there. I loved all of that stuff. I really loved all of the stuff with Fiona. That was such an important relationship. It is such an important relationship to Florence because, I think Florence has been on such a journey of healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With her, the death of her husband is a defining thing that happened to her in her life. And I think when we first met her, she was so prickly and tough and just trying to keep it all together, because otherwise she was going to completely fall apart.
Yeah.
And, like, my gosh, just imagining losing your husband and then having to raise your children by yourself and provide for them in a time where women didn't have jobs, really. Like women were very much reliant on their husbands or their family. So yeah, there's been such a journey of healing, I think, that has been happening for Florence over the seasons. And she's been getting that healing from different things, right? From helping other people, from supporting other people, from trying to not be so lonely by gossiping. That actually gives her a sense of empowerment, right? But really lonely people are the ones who are gossiping. And
she always gets caught.
And, like, she's had to learn a lot of lessons along the way. But I think so much of the way that she has responded to things that have happened have been in reaction to her grief, right? And vulnerability. And so she'd kind of been just trying to put her life back together in a lot of ways after going through something so profound. And so that relationship with Fiona is so extra meaningful, because Fiona really saw something in her and was like, you know what? I know people laugh at you. I know people don't take you seriously. I know, but I think you'd be really good at this.
Yeah.
I see something in you.
Yeah.
When the two of you exchanged Christmas presents, I was sobbing my eyes out.
And I were trying not to just go because we're like, what is it about us? We just make each other there's a connection here, right?
Yeah.
And it's weird because Kayla, is a good decade or more younger than me.
Yeah.
But there's almost like a parent-child connection there.
Yeah.
Fiona really saw something and nurtured something in Florence and really saw her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately Florence wants to be seen. As we all do, right? I think that's kind of the common denominator in life.
Yeah.
All human beings want to be seen. some of us also want to be looked at. Everybody wants to be looked at.
Right.
Everybody wants to be seen.
Yeah.
Experienced for who they really are.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what happened with Fiona
Mm.
and Florence. And so they have, and I don't know what Kayla thinks, what the connection is with Fiona, but I know with Florence.
We'll have to talk to her and ask her.
Yeah.
So she would talk to me. She's an absolute dollface.
Yes.
She's a total sweetheart. Total sweetheart. Yeah, I love what.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The one Florence storyline that made me like, it's when she gets the letter back.
Oh my God.
And I remember watching that episode, and the whole time, because I think Bill Avery's character was a little bit grumpy because Laura was very like kind of snoopy, and it was just
What gave you that idea?
yeah, he was a little bit grumpy. So I was kind of like, where is this going? And then I'd laugh, and then I'd sigh, and like, okay, roll my eyes at like, grumpy Bill here. And then all of a sudden, when it was revealed that it was Florence's letter from Paul, I was like, oh, like crying on the couch because it was so beautiful.
And then the way that you did the performance, the way that it affected her, just
so fantastic. And the fact they even called it back too, because that was season 5. And there are other storylines that have taken precedence over the season 1 widows and their story. So I loved being able to see that back and see, like, we haven't forgotten about, Florence and Molly and some of the others. So that is probably one of my favorite Florence moments.
Yeah, I love that moment too. I mean, when I read the script, I was just, and then I was trying to tell my husband about it, and I was like, I was just, honestly, I couldn't even talk about it. It was just such a beautiful, beautiful moment.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, like a message from the grave. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God. And again, a part of that healing.
Yeah.
Right. So beautiful. I mean, I love that too.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a myriad of comedic moments to pick from. I mean, probably my favorite is always going to be quite provocative. Just the way you pull down your jacket. I died laughing.
I just remember being like, oh, I'm going to go for it. And we were in the scene, and the scene was with Aaron and Lori. And I just remember doing it, and Lori and Aaron just going, like, oh my God.
Oh man.
Yeah, I get to have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
I do get. It's fun playing, somebody who's uptight. She needs to loosen up a little bit. But yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch and rewind and watch again and rewind and watch again.
Yeah.
And it's another great GIF out there in the internet.
Oh, it's a fantastic GIF.
Absolutely. I know. Which brings me back to the whole Faith and Carson kiss. Because we don't have that, right? We did this thing which they didn't put on the tape. We did this thing where they did the kiss and then they look at us and then we wave at them like at the same time. Oh my God, we're going to be a gift. This is going to be great. So, like this wave at the same time. And of course it didn't end up in. So,
Dang it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
That is. Oh man.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that would have been funny to see.
Like, oh, like this, like shocked looks on our faces, like, what? Oh, bye-bye. It didn't end up.
Oh man, missed opportunities.
What can you do?
That's all right. So we have talked to Brian Bird, and we've talked to Pascal. We've talked to Johanna. We're now talking to you. They've all shared season 8 in 5 words. Brian Bird, his 5 words were no more cagey, just truth. Johanna said the heart of the community.
Oh.
And then Pascal used 5 adjectives. So it could be a phrase or it can just be a couple of random words.
So season 8 in 5 words.
Dangle the carrot.
Okay. All right. I'm going to try to do it in 5 words. Roller coaster. Connectedness. You'll see. There's a connectedness.
Okay.
Unpredictable.
Okay.
How many is that? That's 3.
3.
3.
I only get 2 more.
Yeah, you only got 2 more.
Emotional.
Oh.
We're getting that from the promos. We're starting to realize that it's going to be pretty emotional. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, breathtaking. In the context that you all, just as I did when I was reading the scripts, there were moments in this season that when I read it, I literally gasped. Like, oh my God. Yeah, that's good. It's good.
Casey, forget the mops. We're known for needing mops because we cry so much. Forget the mops. I think we're going to have to invest in oxygen tanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
It's good. It's good.
Whew, it sounds like it.
It sounds exciting.
There's so much happening in season 8. I think y'all are just going to really appreciate the storytelling.
What is something that you would like to see Florence do in future seasons? She's really gotten to do quite a bit and she's becoming a career woman. And so what is something you would like to see her do in future seasons that hasn't happened?
Yeah, I think, she's been on such a journey for healing. I want good things to happen for her. I would love for her to find love again. It'd be so lovely for her to have a second chance. At love.
Well, there's no shortage. There's no shortage of single men in that town. So,
right. So, I think, of course, and I think a lot of the fans would like to see that too. They would like to see her find love again. And I think maybe, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe just like a clarification for her on what her purpose is. And I think she's been finding that, along the way. And so much of who Florence is very giving in a lot of ways. She's a supporting character. She helps other people. She, helps the community, So it would be nice for her to find something, kind of personal that sort of clarifies what her purpose is. Yeah. From that place of healing, from that place of empowerment.
right.
Because I think she's had to go on such a journey to put herself back together again.
Yeah. She's had a lot of those moments where you see her going through that the process of grieving, and it goes through different stages. And I think for me as a viewer, I think the turning point was when she got that letter, because I noticed there was kind of a little bit of a shift in her. Like she was still prickly a bit, but there was also
a huge shift.
It was almost like there was a relief there, and there was like I am still loved, and I am still remembered. So,
I think that's also, something that's going on with Florence is, I think because of this big event of losing her husband, I think that, that has affected her relationship with herself.
Yeah.
Because she hasn't had her husband to validate her, to
Right.
her, to say, you are special, you are beautiful, you are valued, you are valuable, you are smart, and you are loving. And she hasn't had that. So I think she gets a certain amount of that from Molly and from Fiona, and through being, at the heart of Hope Valley in a lot of ways. But yeah, I think stepping into her own sense of empowerment and her own sense of value and her own just sense of like really finding healing and love and purpose again. And I think you're right. I think that letter was really important.
Yeah.
It was really important. It was the sign that she was looking for.
Yeah.
Because I think for Florence, she has shelved the idea that she could ever, be truly happy. She does okay, but I think she's probably like, it's okay, like I'm just gonna sort of, care for my children and do my job and be an active member of the community, and it's okay. I'm gonna, I'm gonna survive this, So I would like to see her thrive. Yeah, to not just survive, but thrive.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't know if you guys know the comedian Patton Oswalt.
Oh, yes.
Love that guy.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic, my husband is like the most hilarious person I've ever met. He's such a funny person. And we go to see a ton of comedy. And we went to see Patton Oswalt live.
Oh, fun.
Pandemic, right? Like the things he did, it's crazy.
Yeah.
He said this thing and I just thought, oh man, this is so beautiful. And I hope for it for Florence. He lost his wife.
Yes.
He passed away and they have a daughter. And he said, he got remarried. And he said, like when my wife passed away, I just thought, okay, that's it. I'm gonna, everything's for my daughter. Everything's for my daughter. I'm raising my daughter. I'm okay. It's okay. I don't need to be loved and cherished in a way again. It's okay. You know what? I'm going to survive this, and everything's for my kid. And then he met his second wife, and he fell in love. And he said, I just have a piece of advice. If you ever have the chance at love, don't stand in your own way and just run towards it. Just run, and so I kind of have this like fantasy that maybe that will happen for Florence, right?
Yeah.
Have that second opportunity and not second guess it and just go, okay, okay, say yes.
Say yes.
Yes. I say yes to love. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, our final segment is just kind of our own version of a Teen Beat rapid fire question. We call it Rosemary's Rapid Fire. Yes. So, Casey, fire away.
All right. What is your favorite set location on When Calls the Heart?
Mercantile.
Oh, outside of your own character, who would you want to play for a day?
Gowan.
Oh. That's boom. That would be something to see.
Yes, it
would. What modern convenience would you take back to 1910? You as yourself.
Washing machine and dryer.
Oh,
yes, absolutely.
Loretta, would you rather eat at the saloon or at the cafe?
Cafe.
Sticking with the Florence, right?
Yeah.
Who in Hope Valley would you rather work for or work with? And you as, again, yourself and not your character. So there's a plethora of them.
Oh my goodness, that's a great question. As me or as Florence? No, as me.
As you, yes.
Lucas.
Oh, now that's really going against her character.
I think he's kind of a little bit of a man of mystery.
Indeed.
Yes.
What's going on? Let's play some provocative music, Lucas.
Love it.
Okay, moving on. All right. So regarding your castmates, who is most likely to pull a prank?
Oh, Paul Green.
I have seen those. I have seen those on social media.
Prankster.
Yeah. Who is most likely to burst out into random song or dance between takes?
I don't know. Probably Pascal.
Okay.
Probably
Jam.
Yeah. So who's most likely to be found at craft services?
Johanna.
Yes, she said that too.
It's a little treat.
Yeah. Little snacks. Who is most likely to laugh or cry at an inappropriate time during filming?
Me. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. But sometimes I'm not. If I'm tired, like I have to be careful with the laughing because once I start, it's really difficult for me to stop.
Yeah.
So I have to be really like, don't start, because then I'll be in the background like this, laughing with my shoulders going like, so me.
So was that bachelorette party super hard to film then? With the spinning wheel and...
Oh, well, I mean, when you say that, I mean, Pascal was the one who could not hold it together during the whole thing. Because she had so much to say and we had to do it so many times. And she was already like, her character was already like,
She was, yeah.
Yeah, so she definitely, she's also
yeah. Who's the most likely to be the mother or father hen of the group?
Aaron.
Okay. That's been the consensus so far.
Yeah, that's been a consensus.
Yeah. And then last question, if you and your castmates were stuck on an island Gilligan style, what would each person be doing? And you don't have to name them all because there's like a lot of y'all, but
yeah,
just a few.
Oh my. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, Carson would be being very practical and trying to find a solution to get off the island.
That's good. We need somebody like that.
Rosemary would be building a stage, like Ginger, ready to do a performance. I think probably like Florence would be being really practical and going, we have to eat. Like, what are we going to eat? Fine, I'm going to cook, I think, who else is there? I think Gowan would probably be trying to find a solution without anybody knowing. Right? Just quietly.
Yeah.
Trying to find a solution. Who else? I mean, I think Lucas would probably be taking care of people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he kind of like feed people, and I think Nathan would be probably working to find a solution, to get off the island as well. Everybody's okay. I think that Elizabeth would be helping people not freak out.
Yes. She's done that many times.
Yes.
Would be the voice of reason, when things got heated.
Yeah.
Like, what are we gonna do? She would be a good person to calm the hysteria.
Yeah.
Also to make people feel safe.
Yeah.
Goodness.
That's a good list.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
It's
list.
pretty good.
Instruments he plays. Start playing the tuba or whatever it is he does.
Who would play the tuba?
Hickam.
Oh, Hickam.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. I think, people would either be in two camps, like probably three camps.
Mhm.
One, we got to get out of here. Two, we're here. How are we going to survive while we're here? And the third would be just recreation. Let's have a good time.
Oh, so fun.
Loretta, this has been an utter joy. Thank you so much for coming on to our podcast and for being a part of our big season 2 premiere week, because this is season 2 of the podcast. So thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. We're so appreciative of you giving your time and for giving us so many laughs and so many heartfelt moments to think about and just chatting to talk about and laugh about. So thank you so much. We so appreciate it.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in. We will be back. Bye, Hearties.